Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's video where we're going to be talking about how to survive the winter. Winter comes to all of us. It is a law of nature. It is natural. We all have summers and we all have winters. So as we are in the midst of winter, and I have seen it reflected in my clients and some people that I have been working with, many people are going through a winter too. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you how you can survive. I'll be giving you an amazing book recommendation and practical tools that will help you survive the winter so that you can fully bloom and flourish in summer. Everybody, and thank you for joining me. So for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Roseanna, and welcome back to my channel. With these videos, I hope to help you on your personal and spiritual growth journey. We're all being called to step into our true selves, the fullest, most authentic version of ourselves, so that we can make the most out of this life that we have. And with these videos, I hope to help you have insight and take further steps on your path to becoming your true self. Today we're talking about wintering, the idea of wintering and allowing the winter to come, allowing us to flow with nature, be with nature, our natural instinct, rather than, as we're programmed to, fight winter. We're programmed to carry on as normal, business as usual, throughout winter. And when I say winter, yes, I mean from November to March. I mean the dark times, even the times around the full moon, the times where our energy is being called to go in. Our energy is being called to be more yin-like, be more flowy, be more calm, be more restorative, rather than the full power, let's go, let's make shit happen of the spring and the summer. But we're programmed through society to be go all the time. It doesn't matter whether we're in January or whether we're in July, we're expected to be the same. Now, as humans and as people and as complex beings with a many-faceted psyche, we also have winters. We also have periods of wintering and periods of blooming and flourishing in the summer. So what is winter? Winter is a time of transformation. It's a time where the leaves have fallen off the trees, the grass stops its growth in order to restore, repair, die in preparation for a rebirth, and look to nature. Does it or does it not become reborn every spring, every summer? Yes. So as humans, we can do the same. In our times of transformation, we don't have to keep on being go. We can go inwards. We can take rest. We can take time to restore. And I encourage you to do so. This is inspired by a book that I have just read, and I'll talk a bit more about the book later on. But on reflection, I realised where I haven't been allowing winter in my own life, and where people struggle when they hit the dark night of the soul, when they hit winter. They want to keep on going because we're so attached to this idea of who we were, but we're being called to shed our leaves. And in order to shed our leaves, we need to let go and we need to go inward. Some of our winters can be more prolonged. They can be like the dark night of the soul. It can be the dark night of the soul where we're in a longer period of maybe a depression, feeling lost, feeling stuck, stagnating, and it can feel really painful. And the dark night of the soul is calling for us to transform. Winter can also be relatively short. For women, we have our menstrual cycle, and around the time of our bleed, we're being called to go in. We're being called to hibernate, to winter. And a winter can also be a breakup. It can be financial hardship. To me, the winter is where we're learning a lesson. We're maybe coming to the end of a karmic cycle, and it can be relatively short. It can last for a day. It can last for a week. It can last for a month, or it can last for a few years, depending on the severity, depending on where you are in your life, depending where your soul is on its journey. And I personally have been through a winter that's lasted a few years, but within that winter it's not been totally dark, because there have been sunny days and there have been dark days. But when we're wintering, we really need to allow ourselves to rest and to stop and to, like I keep saying, go inward and uncover the transformation. So no matter how long it is, we're being called to go in and to look where the transformation needs to happen. Wherever we are suffering is an indicator of where the transformation needs to happen. So say it is financial hardship. You're being called to look at your money trauma. You're being called to look at your financial beliefs, patterns, conditionings, to learn what your next level is. So where do you want to go? Where are you at the minute? Where is the pain? What can you uncover in that pain and consciously create change as you move throughout your life? And then as you're creating that change, you can start to move into spring, and you'll uncover more lessons, and the flowers will turn, and the seeds will start to grow, and the buds will start to bloom when you're overcoming the lesson. So how do we release the suffering that comes with the winter? Because winter is a natural part of our life cycle. It is a natural part of nature. It's supposed to happen. How do we release the suffering? The Dalai Lama said, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So how do we release the suffering that comes with a period of winter, that comes with a period of growth, evolution, transformation, metamorphosis? The butterfly has to, before it becomes the butterfly, the caterpillar goes inward. It winters to transform. It literally turns into soup. It turns into caterpillar soup before it can open its wings, crack out of its cocoon, and become the butterfly and fly and brighten everybody's day up as it floats around. And so the butterfly doesn't suffer because it allows it to happen. How can we allow it to happen? We need to let go of the attachment that we have to our persona, to our identity, to how we think our life should look. The more attached you are, the more painful it's going to be. Yes, winter can be painful. There will be days where you want to scream, so scream. There will be days where you want to cry, so cry. There will be days where you want to curl up under the covers and watch Netflix or binge movies. Do that. But you must accept where you are. Watching movies is a form of distraction, which is okay for a period of time, but distracting yourself and not fully leaning into the winter is also going to cause more suffering. So release attachment to how you think your life should look, to where you think you should be going, to who you think you are, this idea of persona that you have built, that you show to the world. If you can not be so attached to that, and if you can lean fully into it, be curious, be open, and not distract yourself, not try and numb the pain, your suffering will ease. And then you're being called to ask, what is this showing me? What is trying to transform within me? What pattern is trying to die? What within me is trying to die so it can be reborn? And the more you can go into this with curiosity, then the more insight that you're going to have, and the transformation will happen with ease, with flow, and you'll see synchronicities and you'll be guided. So ask the questions and listen, look for the answers. So I have some journal prompts for you that I will read out now that you can use when you are in a period of winter. Where is my suffering? Which area of my life am I apparently suffering? What am I so attached to that I can't seem to let go of? What ideas about myself and my life do I need to let go of? How can I make this period of winter more easeful for me? Where am I being called to transform? What will aid me on this journey? And then it could also be really helpful. I'm going to go into some more practical tips and tools as well, but it can also be really helpful when you're going through this, because it is effectively your identity, your persona that's being challenged. It can be really helpful to do a form of self-inquiry, asking, who am I? So the traditional self-inquiry, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I grateful for? So whilst in meditation or in your journaling, asking this, especially this, who am I? Who am I? And you'll be shown through your subconscious mind or through your just being, listen, feel, experience. And this will help you to release the attachment of who you thought you were. So, a practical wintering routine. I think we all know when a period of winter is coming. You know, like the leaves start to fall off the trees in autumn. We may start to see things go wrong. If it's a relationship, we may start to feel within ourselves that this relationship is no longer working for us. It's no longer working. So we'll start to see the signs. And so how do we work with those signs to prepare for winter and not push winter away? So prepare for winter. Don't try and prolong the summer. Lean into it. So what does winter call for? Rest, release, rejuvenation, reconnection, retreat, and reflection. Winter calls for all of these things. So how can you support yourself in doing so? One of the biggest things that has helped me in a period of winter is making time to have fun and reconnect to my inner child, reconnecting to this part of me that's crying out for joy, and joy that makes you smile whether anybody sees it or not. It's just for you. For me, it's aerial hoop. So I love, I've been learning how to do aerial, like swing around in a hoop like a fairy, and I love it. Like as a child, I was never really allowed to do, I was allowed to dance, but I wanted to do gymnastics, couldn't do gymnastics. I was sort of kind of encouraged to do maybe more masculine sports like swimming and running, even though I didn't necessarily enjoy them. But for me, hoop helps me reconnect to my feminine, reconnect to my inner child, my little girl. And it brings me so much joy to learn something new, to swing around in the air, to look feminine, and to flow. And it is just so much fun. And the girls I do it with are amazing. And not necessarily people who I would have an opportunity to connect with in my life. So it fills my cup on so many different levels. So I may release a couple of hours of my week of what I would normally do, which is quite intense spiritual growth work, and just go and have fun doing something. You know, it could be horse riding, it could be painting, writing, riding a bike, going long walks in nature. What makes your inner child squeal with joy? If you can, and if you need it, take time away from your day job. unless your day job like absolutely fills you with joy and bliss, and even if it does, you need a break. So if you can, take time off work, away from work, so that you can really, truly rest and retreat. You know, over Christmas, we get a period of holiday. How many people spend that time hibernating, retreating? Nobody. How many people go back to work sick in January? Almost everybody. That's telling us something. We need to rest more. We need to care for ourselves more. So in caring for ourselves as well, maybe taking more time to sleep, lay in. And, you know, we see people go off work with stress quite a lot, especially in work where they're not happy or they are in a high pressure environment. They go off work with stress for prolonged periods of time because they're not taking time to fully nourish themselves. So, and rest and sleep and get everything that they need, because we're constantly asked to be in summer all of the time. And so the body goes, no, I cannot do it anymore. I'm going to force you into winter, and we shut down. So let's look at how we can nourish ourselves like in a holistic way throughout our entire lives, throughout our entire life, like our entire year, rather than just when we feel like it. So how can you eat more healthily? How can you nourish yourself in your physical health? How can you nourish yourself in your mental health? Meditation, reading books that help you develop your mind, being in a group of positive people who lift you up, giving back to the world in some way. What feeds your soul? What feeds your body? What nourishes you to your very core? Do more of that. And winter as well is an amazing time for cooking. I love batch cooking, soups, stews, curries. And it brings me again so much joy. It allows my creativity to flow. It allows my my kind of like divine mother to archetype within me to come and take care of the little girl who needs caring for. This is one thing about winter as well, is there is a part of us that needs deeply caring for. Treat yourself like a child. What would you advise the 5-year-old version of you to do? Because otherwise that 5-year-old version is going to throw a tantrum and it is gonna make you suffer. Creative projects. What creative projects can you sink your teeth into? Personally, I am taking time to finish a creative project now. I am about to finish my book so that I can release it and allow it to be birthed into the world after my period of winter. And it's something I've been working on for a couple of years, and I'm ready now to see it, to finalize it. So this is a creative project that has really helped me. It's been cathartic. It has given me joy. It's helped me process trauma. It has helped me just process life, understand life, grow spiritually, connect to people I wouldn't normally connect to. People have offered me advice, help around writing a book. It has given me so much. And so what creative project can you sink your teeth into that will help you in your winter? Follow your intuition as to what you might need. So this morning, I never thought this would happen. And this is because I'm now allowing myself to lean into the fact that maybe I am in a period of winter, but also coming out of it because of the revitalized energy that I feel. But I was called to go and buy plants. I have never been called to buy plants in my life. Plants are something I inherit or kill. But I have just been and bought these plants that you saw Russell trying to eat earlier. A prayer plant, or the living plant. String of hearts, like how beautiful is that? I recently inherited my sister's string of turtles, which I really love as well. But I needed some plants that were non-toxic to cats. So I actually Googled and found like 4 beautiful ones: a money plant, a Boston fern plant to help with the purify the air, and the prayer plant. This is my recording studio come meditation room, and the string of hearts to give more love into the air. So I was called to go and buy these plants to really fill and nourish me, like in a way that I have never allowed myself. Like, it was very playful for me, it was very homely, it was very mothering, very, divine mother archetype, which is not something that I would usually listen to the calling of. And then the most important thing in winter, we've touched on it a bit, but is connection to self. As with any period of transformation, as with anything in life, you're always being called to connect to yourself more. So how can you connect to yourself more? Everything we've just spoken about is self-connection. Everything is self-discovery. But what can you do? Highly, highly recommend a meditation practice where you can devote half an hour, 10 minutes of your time to yourself. And as you sit on the mat, I devote this time to you. I devote this time to connect to my innermost self and work through whatever I am working through. And I advise meditation, a practice like constantly, not just in winter, because it helps on such a deep level of self-awareness and spiritual growth and physical health. So I highly recommend everybody has a meditation practice. You can check out my meditations. I'll link one up here for you. I also have a meditation community that you can come and join, but I'll share a little bit more about that later on. Now I want to talk about the book. And this is the book. It is highly acclaimed. Truly a beautiful book, Elizabeth Gilbert says. It's called Wintering by Katherine May, and it's a Sunday Times bestseller. So Wintering, The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times. It is, like I say, highly acclaimed. It was longlisted for the Wainwright Prize in 2020, but a friend of mine put this on her Instagram feed, and I used to live in a town called Folkestone, and my friend was going through a period of winter, and she picked up the book in a secondhand store and saw that the first page mentioned Folkestone, which made her read it. And then she posted it, and I then picked it up when I knew that I needed to accept and embrace my winter. I read it over Christmas, and it was like a cuddle under a blanket with hot chocolate in front of a fire. It's not the type of book I would normally read. Normally I read, like, I've got some Osho on the go. At the moment I'm reading The Heroine's Journey, but it's a beautiful book. So if you're in a period of winter, if you're in a period where maybe you are just being called to take a break, this is a lovely book. It talks about lots of different styles of winter and how they treat winter all over the world. And Katherine has interviewed different people about their winter traditions, and she talks about metamorphosis and this idea of she goes personally into her winter, even her son's winter. And it's just a really beautiful book, so I highly recommend it if you are in a period of winter. It's a very easy read. And I recommend that you use your time wisely while you're in winter. Like, don't waste it. Yes, if you want to binge Netflix for a day, do it. Sometimes we need to. Sometimes I've been called to watch a film. Like, I was called to watch Pocahontas recently as part of my winter, as part of my inner child healing, and I watched it and I got so many deep insights from it, from a cartoon, an animated film. I got so many deep insights, and I'm so grateful that I did it. But for me, it is about, using your time wisely while you're going through winter and fully leaning into the evolution process. If you are in a period of winter, the dark night of the soul, just an external challenge, and you have found this video helpful, then please hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, tell me about your experience, if this has helped you in any way, and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you need further support, I have a free meditation download to help you connect with your higher self. And then what follows is a series of training to help you understand your unconscious mind and why you might be going through what you're going through. It's full of journal prompts, exercises that will help you on this path and lean into the transformation. If you want to take it a step further, I have a beautiful meditation community that I mentioned before, meditation and spiritual growth, called the Lotus. No mud, no lotus. The lotus has to flow up through the muddy waters to bloom on top of the water. And that is what we have to do when we're in our period of winter. We have to go through the mud in order to come out on top and bloom. So within this community, we meditate together weekly. There are threads to help you with your shadow work, your dream work, a beautiful community of people that we connect to regularly. So it's a beautiful space, and all the information to join is in the links below. If you would like to take this a step further and you feel like you need private one-on-one support, I am a certified Jungian and spiritual life coach, and I am at your service. If you would like to consider a private coaching program with myself, they range from 2 months to 6 months and beyond. I am here to help you. So we can have a chat about that. You can book in a free discovery call and we can see if I am the right coach for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you are in winter, I send you so much love. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.